All right. I want to start this live out by playing something.
Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. And the majority, not every single person, but the majority of white America has shown us who they are for the past 500 years. They showed us who they were when they came over here and killed all the indigenous people to steal all their land and resources. They showed us who they were when they brought Asian people over here to build the railroad and then stuck them in internment camps on this continent. They showed us who they were when they separated Latino babies from their parents and locked them in cages. And they showed us who they were when they stole innocent Africans, put them in the bottom of ships, murdered them, raped them, and treated them as chattel for profit. They showed us who they were when they abandoned all of their European cultural differences and homogenized themselves into this one group called white, then created this white supremacist fantasy in order to rationalize to themselves treating everybody that didn't look like them like garbage. They showed us who they were when they held on to this white supremacist fantasy in order to justify making it illegal for Black people to read, making it okay for them to get Black people out of their beds and string them up in trees and have their children sit out there and take pictures and pass the shit around the country on postcards. They showed us who they were when they allowed white people in this country to kill Black people with no consequence. See, today it's mostly just cops, but it wasn't that long ago when the average Joe Blow white American could just kill whatever Black person they wanted to and get away with it. Emmett Till was only 1 year older than my father, then my damn daddy. They also show us who they are when they refuse to even discuss any kind of recompense for the oppression and degradation they have shown an entire race of people who are owed for building this country on their backs for free. So this little new boy that shot up all these Black people in Buffalo, New York yesterday, he is not new to us. He is only new to the people who have not been paying attention. And they're going to get on the news and try to act like he's some kind of lone wolf. He's some kind of psycho. And they just don't understand how he could have these thoughts and how he came to act out this way. I tell you, he is the offspring of Fox News, of allowing all these GOP politicians to play fast and loose with the legislation of this country, of all these people who act like they don't see what the fuck is really going on in this country. He's a product of that. He's also a product.
Well, that's one hell of a way to start off live. Questions or remarks about what you just heard?
That's the first time I've heard that. She spoke facts. She said what needed to be said. It honestly needed to be said. We're at a place where it's not new. It's not new. We've been seeing it. It's just now this one, he completely told the truth. Like, he told everyone what he wanted to do. He said it.
He did.
What else is there to say about that? Like, he said it.
I'm how do I say this? I have my own personal feelings about it. I'm not going to say that this boy was mentally ill. He was not mentally ill. He was not mentally ill at all. At fucking all. And the thing is, they're going to try to paint him out as being mentally ill.
Oh, you know they are. You know
they're going to do that.
He had a troubled childhood. Watch.
Hold on. Let's do this. Let's see what Fox News has to say. Oh, for the record, fair use, YouTube. Fair use, educational purposes.
Carlson Since tonight there was a horrifying, we're sad to tell you, a horrifying amount of violence in the United States over the weekend, as increasingly there is. Over just 2 days, at least 104 Americans were shot to death in major American cities. That's a lot. How many? Well, for perspective, on the single deadliest day of the Iraq War, that would be January of 2005, a total of 37 Americans died. So what's happening in our cities right now looks a lot like a war, even if we rarely acknowledge it. Dallas, Milwaukee, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, many other metro areas reported murder.
You hear the gaslighting?
That's typical now. In St. Louis, 13 people were shot, 5 of them fatally.
I'm sorry, but that's gaslighting. That's gaslighting, because what he just did right there was bring up the majority of the chocolate cities. These are chocolate cities. These are cities where you can go as a black person and have a good ass time. Good ass time. Hanging around our folk. Like we want to say, hanging around our people. Getting to shoot some shit with our people because they look like us. And a lot of times they deal with the same thing as us. So stop the cap.
In Chicago, 33 were gunned down. 5 of those died.
That's another fucking issue I got.
Immigrant from Las Vegas
don't bring up Chicago
and shot 6 elderly Taiwanese parishioners. Police say he was motivated by some kind of political and ethnic hatred. And of course, most famously of all, on Saturday afternoon, a teenager in a mock military uniform walked into a grocery store in Buffalo and shot more than a dozen strangers with a rifle. No doubt you've seen accounts of this on the news. What you probably haven't seen are details about any of the 10.
Hold on, strangers. They can't.
It's the way he just presented that for me.
Fucked up, ain't it? See, what he did was the art of deflection. You're a smart woman, so you know this. When you're about to say something that's really fucked up and you know it's fucked up, you're going to say something that's least fucked up ahead of time to prepare you for the bullshit that you're going to spew on somebody later. That's what we just seen. This is the art of deflection. And in my opinion, it's a little racist.
10 Americans who were murdered in that store in Buffalo. You may not even know their names, much less who they were or who they loved. Most of them were black. We know that. But beyond the way they look, not a lot has been reported about them. Because
I can't let you get away with that. I can't let you get away with that. No. All the victims who died were black. All the victims who died were black. There was 3 other white people there. True enough, they did get shot, but they did not have fatal wounds to them. What this dude is doing is trying to paint a broad brush over something that is allowed by this motherfucker.
You know what's sad is that there's so many people that's going to watch just this, that heard about it but didn't know too much about it, the shooting in Buffalo. They're going to watch this and they're going to be like, oh yeah. And then they're not going to see an issue when people say, well, this little boy sat here, this child, because he only 18, 19?
No. See, I can't let that fly either, because
so listen. So he went into this store. Well, he had the motive to go kill black people. We all know that. That's something that he's even said out his mouth. So the way that Fox News is presenting this,
it's disgusting, isn't it? It's disgusting, isn't it? Because they're doing everything.
Because they don't want it to be known that it's what actually happened. They're whitewashed. They're washing it.
They're doing everything under the sun to present this as something different than what it is. They're trying to do everything possible to prevent from saying white supremacist, hate crime. They presented it as just a regular standard daily weekend in America, which
like it wasn't not like it had,
which it was not.
It wasn't.
Which that's the part that's fucking me up, because How can you sit up here with a straight face and say these things? True enough, you reading off of a prompter. Cool. Got you. Everybody reads off of a prompter these days when you're doing some kind of media coverage. Everybody does. So that's nothing new. But you're whitewashing this. Whitewashing. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna call it something different. You white capping. Because a white cap, if anybody who's been to the beach or been on the water, a white cap is a dangerous thing. A white cap is because it's a more powerful wave. It's the tip of the wave. It does more harm when it comes to tsunamis and everything else like that. It does. So, sir, that's what you're doing. You're white capping.
Because the coverage hasn't been about them. Nor, in fact, has it really been about the gunman. He was an 18-year-old called Peyton Gendron. Gendron was mentally ill. Everyone around him knew that, including his teachers and the local police. Less than a year ago, Gendron was committed to a mental hospital after threatening to murder his classmates at a school graduation ceremony. So on Saturday, after he made good on his long...
The spin. you see what I'm saying? The spin presented it as if this was all just mental illness instead of calling it what it was, saying that he's been mentally ill. This is just something he needed help and all this different type of shit. Do you hear this?
Yeah, I hear this.
What you got on this? What you got to say?
I'm sorry. I'm still looking at this mentally ill shooter wrote a 180-page letter. I've just been sitting here just reading this line over and over again. Reading this headline over and over again. Like, I'm not. It's also, but you know what, in all honesty, I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise
me. It doesn't surprise me at all. Like, this is where we're at. I mean, in all honesty, we can sit and we're supposed to be okay with just talking about, you know, the shootings that normally happen, right? But there's a huge difference in all the shootings that he just said, that he listed, that happened this weekend, that happened that same weekend, all at the same, well, around the same time. We're talking about a couple of days here.
But two of them were hate crimes.
But two of them were definitely hate crimes. Literally, because, you know, what likes to happen is, you know, black on black killing is bad. White on black killing is bad too. Any killing that's happening is serious. But to deliberately walk into a place and kill people because of the color of their skin, and then want to turn around and say, oh, well, I'm mentally ill. If you were mentally ill and they knew that you were doing these things, that you had these thoughts in your head about killing people and doing all this, how did anyone allow this to happen around him? How did his family?
So
like, they're all to blame.
You're saying his family should be held as much accountable as...
They all should be held accountable. Like, this man, if that's the case, if that's the spiel, if that's the road that they want to go, y'all all should be held responsible then. But Fox News is wrong. They petty for that. That's beyond. Like, how dare you sit and turn a mass killing into just like an everyday thing? Like, that's just, oh yeah, no, this just happened today, but he's mentally ill, so you know. You know. So you have to be mindful.
Let's finish and see what else this fool got to say.
Long-standing threat to open fire into a crowd, Gendron left an 180-page letter that he said would explain his motives. You probably heard this document described as a racist manifesto. But that's not quite right. It's definitely racist, bitterly so. Gendron reduces people to their skin color. That's the essence of racism, and it's immoral. But what he wrote does not add up to a manifesto. It is not a blueprint for a new extremist political movement, much less the potential inspiration for a racist revolution.
I'm not the most brilliant man, but I would like to think myself to be on a certain level when it comes to my intelligence. A manifesto is a manifesto no matter how it's worded. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The words in that document lay out groundwork for plans and reasoning behind these plans and the capitalization of the plans, what you plan on doing with these plans.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a manifesto. What he's doing right now, this motherfucker is tap dancing. He's tap dancing. He's tap dancing around calling it what it was. A hate crime. A hate crime that's been having to be dealt with for over a century now. Like it's a hate crime. And I don't know what else to even say. I really don't. Let's continue.
Anyone who claims that it is lying or hasn't read it. Instead, Gendron's letter is a rambling pastiche of slogans and internet memes, some of which flatly contradict one another. The document is not recognizably left-wing or right-wing. It's not really political at all. The document is crazy. It's the product of a diseased and organized mind. At one point, Gendron suggests that Fox News is part of some global conspiracy against him. He writes like the mental patient he is, disjointed, irrational, paranoid. Now, that's true, not that it makes the atrocities he committed.
Add a little bit of truth in there with a little bit of bullshit.
That's exactly what Fox News just gave us.
A little bit of truth with a little bit of bullshit. Like, how you going to try to pull the... See, Fox News, I used to be a fan. I did. But the thing that's happened with them recently, Fox News is not for me. No. Fox News is for that Caucasian gentleman that lives in middle of Arkansas, who stays in a trailer, who still has his Confederate flag up.
Mm-hmm.
He has an old pickup truck that he calls Rusty, and he has a dog with the same name. His wife is 327 pounds, and she wears Daisy Dukes and a tied-up bra outside smoking her Virginia Slims. That's who Fox News is for now. The people who will defend anything and everything that they got to say because, hell, I ain't never seen a nigger, but I would know how to treat a nigger when I see him. Not knowing that everything you just did is going to contradict what you're thinking. Yes, Fox News is turning racist. It truly is. What you got to say? Dee.
Hey, they got a problem. There's a huge problem here. And I hope people really start to actually see this. I hope that there was people that were watching Fox News when this aired and was just like, wow, I can't believe Fox News did this. But it makes sense because of the person that was the shooter. It makes sense. They have to pronounce it. They have to do it, but they have to victimize as well.
Let's continue.
Made it easier to bear. If your daughter was murdered on Saturday in Buffalo, you wouldn't care why the killer did it or who he voted for. But the truth about Peyton Gendron does tell you a lot about the ruthlessness and dishonesty of our political leadership, within minutes of Saturday's shooting, before all of the bodies of those 10 murdered Americans had even been identified by their loved ones, professional Democrats had begun a coordinated campaign to blame those murders on their political.
What the fuck does this have to do with Democrats?
There's nothing, but they have to spin it. Nothing to do with the Democrats, but they have to spin it.
This has absolutely nothing to fucking do with Democrats. Nothing. And I mean nothing. This has absolutely nothing to do with Democrats. Deflection. This deflection game is on 100. Like,
yeah, because we're playing it.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, it takes a lot for me to say something is racist. It really does. But this is about there. This is about there. This is literally tiptoeing the line.
Opponents. They did it, they said, immediately. Patron Gendron was the heir to Donald Trump, they told us. Trumpism committed mass murder in Buffalo. And for that reason, it followed logically, we must suspend the First Amendment. That's hardly an exaggeration of what they're saying. Here's a selection from yesterday's Sunday shows.
Social media companies and law enforcement have not done enough to monitor, to ban, to restrict, and to limit hate speech on their sites. Hate speech is not freedom of speech.
As you know, the
Wait a minute. What is that? Hold on. How did he correlate that, what that man said, with banning the First Amendment? Seriously. How does that equal eliminate the First Amendment? Nothing he said was about the First Amendment. It was about accountability.
Big difference.
This is a spin campaign.
First Amendment does not protect hate speech.
I'll protect the First Amendment any day of the week, but you don't protect hate speech. You don't protect incendiary speech. You're not allowed to scream fire in a crowded theater. There are limitations on speech, and right now we have seen this run rampant.
What the hell does any of that say? Get rid of the First Amendment. Where? Because I'm lost.
I want to see how they're going to spin this. I want to see what he got to say, actually. I'm kind of curious on how they're going to turn this. I'm going to see how they're going to correlate it. I really
So what is hate speech? Well, it's speech that our leaders hate. So because a mentally ill teenager murdered strangers, you cannot be allowed to express your political views out loud.
Wait. Wait. Tell me I didn't just hear that. Tell me I did.
You did. I heard it too. You're not alone.
Like, oh, wait a minute. This motherfucker done spun this shit into something that is not. He didn't transform this shit into a political campaign. Everything that was said or written down in that young man's manifesto proved and said why, yes, we should be for free speech. There should be some limitations. Some. Bad-mouthing the government? No. But spewing rhetoric that can literally get somebody hurt or get somebody killed? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There's a big difference between those two. There's a really big difference. So I don't understand how. How did you get there?
How did you do? Whoever is his writers, you need to pay them double. You got anything else?
That's the sad part because this was written and approved. It didn't just pop up on the air. Like you have to take that into consideration right now. Like so that means that there's so many people within that building that approved this and think that this is okay.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. We shall continue.
That's disgusting.
That's what they've wanted to tell you for a long time. But Saturday's massacre gives them a pretext, a justification. You have to ask yourself, who behaves like that? What sort of person uses mass murder as an excuse to give a campaign speech or seize more political power?
No. 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 No, 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 no. That's not what the hell was done. Even your own clips discredit everything that you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
No. Saying that hate speech should be something that is not allowed. That's accountability.
That's really accountable.
That's accountability. You just sat here and literally spit in the faces of these victims by using their blood, their names, their likeness, everything about them, their lineage to promote politics. This has absolutely fucking nothing to do with politics.
John, they didn't just promote politics. They did it for a reason. Because they don't want their viewers to see, like, in all honesty, because you have to think about the people that they're targeting too. A lot of more older people watch Fox News. So they just washed down the actual incident to promote politics, but they did it for a reason. They chose to literally put this the way that they did for a reason. They did it.
Wow.
They hit two birds with one stone here.
Wow.
We'll find out tomorrow when Joe Biden travels to the scene of this atrocity in Buffalo to speak to the country. We haven't seen an advanced copy of his remarks, but we can guess what we will hear. Biden's approval rating appears to be the lowest ever recorded for a president this century, lower than Donald Trump's. That is a disaster for his party. The Democratic Party will suffer for this in this fall's elections. Biden still has time to change course and fix it. He could try to improve the lives of voters who are dissatisfied with him. That is entirely possible. That's what politicians typically do when they're down. They listen to the people who might reelect them.
What the fuck does this have to do with Joe Biden? Again, what the fuck does this have to do with anything that he's talking about? I have not heard anything to indicate that the fallout from this is you can't be mean to people. That's all I'm hearing. He's not giving me anything to.
These should have been three separate stories. They shouldn't have tried to group this all into one the way that they did.
They grouped this shit together. Like
they tried to. I don't even know.
This whole thing has went off the rails to where people have lost sight of what the actual thing is that's going on. Because even the thread at the bottom has changed. Even the thread at the bottom has changed. Even the purpose behind this whole story has changed because they have nothing. Because they don't want to call this exactly what it was. This was a fucking terrorist attack. This was a terrorist attack. This was a hate crime. This was all of that. But they don't want to call it by what it is. And I've had enough. I can't even watch any more of that. I can't. Honestly. You got anything?
I'm sitting here shaking my head. This is so I have not watched the news about the situation. This is the first time I've watched anything actually about the whole Buffalo shooting. And I have a feeling CNN is honestly not that much better
You don't think CNN is much better?
when it comes to reporting Buffalo. I don't think most news places didn't, probably because it doesn't fit the narrative. Doesn't fit the narrative. You know, they have to give some attention to it because it was something that was traumatic and it happened in our country, you know, but we can't shed too much on it. But you know what? So let another group go and do something on that level. Go shoot up a public place. And it's going to be front line. And so is their criminal history, even parking tickets.
Everything is going to be put out in the open for them to castigate.
It's not going to be mental illness. They're not even going to put it as a headliner. You're not going to hear nothing about mental illness. You're not going to hear nothing about a bad childhood. You're not going to hear none of it. It's a complete difference.
You're not going to hear it.
They did it the way that they wanted to.
And that's bullshit. Here's something else. When the hell did World Star Hip Hop start showing?
You were in that Tops earlier this afternoon. We're going to get to that story. But you told me just a few moments ago that you actually spoke with the suspect yesterday. He was here. Tell me more about that.
I seen him and he looked strange in the neighborhood, but he had a genius shirt on. So I wanted to see if he was a genius. And we sat and talked about string theory, critical race theory, the beginning of civilization. And he seemed like he was a genius, actually. He said he came up just to see the countryside and he was going to go out camping. He bought a big thing, a jug of water. He had a little nervous twitch to him. I bought him something to drink, and we sat and talked for about an hour and 45 minutes after seeing the pictures and seeing the blue car that I seen him got into yesterday. So it's a shock right now, and he told me his name was Peyton. So it's a shock.
And we did see a blue car get taken away from this scene just about a half hour or so ago. And you were saying that you were speaking with him on a bench that's located outside of this Tops.
Yes.
That's the bench that earlier today, when I first got here, you were the first person I spoke to. You were telling me that bench is your office. And you usually like to stop and sit there and talk to people that are passing by. Today, you didn't stop. So walk me through.
That contradicts everything. Literally everything that man just said on Fox News. The mentally ill. The mentally ill are not going to sit up and have a full-fledged conversation with you about whether it's raining in Africa or not. This contradicts everything. There was no fucking mental illness. There was
he
no
knew exactly what he wanted to do. He said it.
He staked out the place. This shit was premeditated.
Yeah, it was. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. But it's interesting to see that he had a full conversation with a black man, and it was a very intelligent conversation at that, to then turn around and go and shoot many people and even kill some, kill 10. Like
it's so
I'm
it's too
curious to
much.
see what he gets charged with. I am so
It's too
curious
much.
what the actual charge is actually going to be, because to me it seems like, look, in all honesty, instead of becoming a serial killer, he does a mass shooting. I don't understand how you thought he was going to get away with it, but hey, I don't know.
It's too much. It's too much.
Your afternoon here at the Tops.
Well, I went in there and got me some a juice, and I didn't want to sit there today, so I walked across the street and I opened up my juice, and as I opened up my juice, I heard what I knew wasn't a firecracker, and I looked up and I seen a guy shooting people. Then I seen a security guard run inside. And then I seen him going after him, shooting. And I saw him come back out, and he had all camouflage on, and glasses and helmet, and then he put the gun to his head, and he dropped it. He took off his gloves. He took off his gun, put it down. He took off his vest, and then he got on his knees and laid down and put his hands behind his back, and they arrested him at that point.
And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, you were telling me about the security guard, the former Buffalo police officer who has tragically died in this incident. You were telling me today he told you no lingering around the store. We gotta keep it clear.
Yes.
You credited that man with saving your life.
Yes, I heard him say to someone, "There's no lingering around the store." So me knowing that he was a Buffalo police officer, I never really wanted to give him an opportunity to say anything to me. So when I do go, I shot and I.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Bruh. Everything Fox News just said was a fucking lie. Everything Fox News said, it was a fucking lie. And turns out that one of the guy's cousins said that his reaction was due to COVID. He was upset about COVID. No accountability any fucking where. This dude premeditatedly killed these people. Whether he knew he was going to kill them or not, the crime was premeditated. That's not mental illness. That's a plan. He planned to do that. He staked out the area. And he said that he was going to Buffalo because of their stringent gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it's so hard to carry a gun there. You have to have valid reason, valid proof, valid license, all this different type of stuff just to have a weapon there. That's why he went, because he knew he wasn't going to get any resistance. And that's bullshit.
Because at some places you have to literally, you can just walk around with it. So, premeditated. He knew what he was doing.
That was premeditated. And anybody who says otherwise, I'm not even going to sit up and try to argue with you because you're dumb. That's what you are. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're a dummy. You're a goddamn dummy. And I have nothing for you. I literally have nothing for you at all. Just drown and piss. That's all you can do. Drown and piss. Because if you carry on living, you're part of the fucking problem. Like, I don't know. I don't know. What's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on? What's happening, D-Dot? What's happening, everybody?
Nothing.
Hello.
Hopefully I ain't too loud, man.
You not.
Kids got a hold of my settings. Man, look. I was listening. I was grabbing my sandwich. Y'all didn't know white people can't be terrorists.
Apparently, they don't know that they could be
They
terrorists.
don't know that.
Well,
That's
I mean, of
the
course they
problem.
don't. He who controls history, right? You know the rest. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
controls the narrative.
They've been, haven't they been the number one terrorist of this country? And then they chose to make the word so they control it, right? It has never been applied to when they do any damn thing. Not one time. Wouldn't slavery constituted today, wouldn't that count as an act of terrorism?
Yeah. Unnatural enslavement. That's an act of genocide, which is worse.
But it can't be them.
Oh
It
no,
can't be them.
it's
It can't-
mental illness.
when they got rid of all the Native Americans, ain't that an act of what?
Terrorism.
That would never coincide. White and terrorism, never ever in history. They're gonna make sure of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're on here talking about mental illness. Every time one of them do something, they chalk it up to what? Mental illness. This whole
Mental
conversation,
illness and broken childhoods.
something like that, or whatever it is, but it's gonna be an excuse. It could be sports. Do y'all remember when Kentucky won and they went outside and flipped cars and they was hanging from the street lights and all that? They said, "Oh, that's just good teenager fun."
Mm-hmm.
Niggas do the same thing.
It's a riot.
Wow. It's a riot. Fucking foreigners and every damn thing else we get called.
It's a goddamn shame. Like
What got me when the dude got on I'm sorry, but when the dude got on TV when his first time said we have to investigate to see if this is a hate crime. What more proof do you need that one of his rifles was inscribed with the word nigger on it?
Fox News didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you that.
Right? Dude, I mean, we watched a little dude go, what was that? Mama dropped little dude. What was the last thing where and he got off with it? Cops gave him water. He got away. He shot 2 people.
Which one? You talking about the dude who went to the Asian parlor?
No, this was when it was outside. They was riding and the little dude was like 16, 17.
Oh, you talking about dude up there in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Do y'all ever know? Like I heard D-Dot say, this is interesting. I want to see how this is gonna play out. You're never gonna know. It's gonna be a mystery. Name one of them. Name one that you've heard the results of.
See, and that's the thing. Whenever the
That's
results,
because you have to research it. They don't
Why?
post it. They don't say it.
But
It's because-
niggas though, it play out on TV, don't it?
see, the thing that's killing me, the situation in Waukesha. Black gentleman gets into the car and drives through and hits all them white folk. It's automatically he was a black nationalist. He had racist intent. This was a hate crime. This was a terroristic act. Dylan Roof, dude who went into the church, shot up all them people. Dude, I was just talking about went into and killed all them Asian ladies. This motherfucker, not to mention some of the other ones. I find it oddly peculiar that with the coverage of their crimes, it was presented in a lot more sympathetic fashion than it was for anybody else. Even the gentleman down there in Houston, even though these are tragedies that we are talking about, even though they are tragedies, you got to keep the same energy with everything. The black guy down there in Houston who shot up the army base, black guy, they brought up his write-ups in the military. They brought up that.
Oh, they do every day. Yeah.
That. Even to a lesser extent, George Floyd brought up all this stuff about fentanyl and all this different kind of shit. Don't nobody care about that.
Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery. Nobody cares about
Brung
that.
up videos that wasn't even him.
Bingo.
Even the owner said, no, that's not him. That's a different dude. Criminal record. He has run in with police before.
Run in doesn't
Blah, blah,
mean
blah, blah.
criminal record.
You know?
If you've been pulled over, that's a run in.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've said hi to an officer in a quick trip or something like that, that's a run in.
Hell, they got Tupac for touching a girl ass and called it rape.
The dichotomy between the two is not balanced. There is no balance.
Oh.
And see, what I'm worried about, they're not going to be able to take what they dish out.
Mm-mm.
They're not going to, like, I'm starting to hear rumblings and stuff like that of more and more of our people being fed the hell up.
And
And
like
the
that
thing
for the past 6 years. It's just bubbling.
And my thing is, the way they were in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that is nothing compared to the way we are now.
Mm-mm.
It's no more of the turn the other cheek.
Oh,
our grandparents and grandparents would have sat there and marched and sang hymns. No, we gonna bust that ass.
It's a little deeper than that though, because see, we kind of give them the ammo on live shit. Now I plan on going live night to talk about it because we do a lot of buffoonery too.
Oh yes,
and we kind of give them a way out, so they have, because it's about perception. What's more believable, right? And that's why they get to spin these narratives. This is why, and it seems believable to the naked eye, because it's just like, for instance, like I told you a story, you know, when I was young, I used to throw rocks and stuff, right? I used to bust windows, that was bad. And this lady came down, was like, Slick bust my window. My dad was like, you know what? I got you. Tell me how much you're gonna be. He came in there and beat my ass. I told him I didn't do it. Right? Lady came back about 6 hours ago, was like, oh, I found out who did it. He didn't do it. My dad looked at me and said, what, you want to apologize? You're going to do something later on any motherfucking ways. But the point is, I was known for doing that.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? And we give them that angle. That's why you can see old boy on Fox. He'll get there and be like, why would he do something like this? Why? And his saying so is telling all the white people, yeah, because we normally don't do that. That's the black people that are rowdy. That's the, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we give them that to be able to go off of.
Where I say it's our fault, where I can honestly say it's our fault, is by not stopping the perception. By not. There's no such thing as really dignity too much anymore, because
or integrity,
yeah. Because if that was the case, shows like Love and Hip Hop wouldn't be around. Basketball Wives wouldn't be around. All these little reality shows that portray us in a certain manner. Hell, even Power wouldn't be around. Honestly,
well,
shows,
no, not
shows
true.
like that shouldn't be.
Not true. We would, but it'd be a little more understanding of that's not real. Well, parents back then were parents. Like, I grew up, I had shooting games, I had stuff like that. My dad was like, you know this shit ain't real, right? Like, it was enforced. It was ingrained. You do know that's a game. Don't take your punk ass outside. You understand what I'm saying? It was a little more. They had stuff like that. You had cop shows. You know, our grandparents grew up with the same stuff. It was just more ingrained in them. See, and the thing that you like, one of your favorite words, because that we understood that it brung shame. Not just to yourself, but your mama. You don't make your mama look bad. You don't want the neighbors talking about your mama like that and her son. And you understand you get what I'm saying? The values are gone. You know, values. You know, people want to be this, you know, keeping it real and this is me, this, that, and it's just a bunch of selfishness going on. Got your mama on TV looking stupid, talking about my son don't do stuff like that. Then they go in your room, search your room, they find dope and guns every motherfucking where.
That's
You know,
true. That shit is true.
That's the buffoonery I'm talking about all the way around. And these are things I was going to talk about tonight. It probably still is. But I'm just touching on, the stuff they got us topsy-turvy. Everything ain't just their fault. It's a lot that's our fault because we get an ammo to go off of. I watch women on YouTube and everywhere around the world talking about they want to be like us. Kim Kardashian got an ass just like us. Kim Kardashian got braids just like us. But you look just like her.
In which way?
In what way? You just traded places.
Oh dear.
No, I'm just being real though. Like until we have, like you say, dignity and integrity in ourselves as a people, you gotta love yourself first.
Yes, you do.
You gotta love yourself first. I'm not saying this, and I'm not saying that the two say there's anything wrong with it. What I'm saying, like if you want to wear a wig or I don't care. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if you going in Peruvian and all this straight Asian people hair in your head, and then you want to talk about this straight hair, blind hair bitch, she think because she put some shots in her ass and taking on me and this, that, and the third. But then if I look at you, you too busy putting a pile of makeup on your face to look like her. Your face light skinned, your neck black. You got long ass weave in your motherfucking hair. And you thinking the stuff that you're wearing, you actually think you created it. You didn't. That's what they want. This is what they want though. Because now you got a confused race.
See, I think the real problem was when we started adopting their culture on certain things.
It didn't used to be.
It didn't used to be. That's what I'm saying. I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't. We've adopted their culture when it comes to everything. When it comes to business, that dog eat dog, only the big shark gets to eat mentality and all that different type shit, that Wolf of Wall Street mentality. That's white culture.
Yeah, I would say this. In the Bible it say, how do you get rid of a nation of people? Make them forget where they come from. And that's just all that happened. It's a big old, it's like a big ball. If a bomb, and it exploded, and it was like this selfishness gas in it. Because we're all selfish towards one another. And I see it all the time. And to the point where we don't even know who's smart and who's dumb anymore. I had an interesting conversation with a girl today, and I told her at the gig, I said, she was like, I got 2 degrees and this, and the third. And I said, that's cool. I said, but that don't make you smart. That just means that you worked hard and took some tests and got some paper.
You got certified in a specific field. It doesn't take much.
I said that intellect is totally different than education.
There's definitely a huge difference.
I know a bunch of motherfuckers who ain't never been to school that's smart than a motherfucker, and I wonder why they still where they at. But I said, I'm not gonna put on in there where I work at, but you know where I work at. But meanwhile, you got your 2 degrees, you work where I'm at, where you shouldn't be. But who's the winner in this situation? Now you gotta give all this money back to who? For your 2 pieces of paper. You see what I'm saying? And that she only brings up to throw it in people's faces. Black chick. And not understanding that's not how life works.
No.
See what I'm saying? Jay-Z said it best. Crabs in a barrel. Nobody told you that crabs don't belong in the barrel in the first place. But if we all stand on each other's back, we can get out. And if we keep holding on, we can pull each other out.
I mean, that's common sense.
But it ain't common no more.
It's not
because
common.
everybody's all for
I
themselves.
say that all the time. Yeah.
Everybody's all for themselves. Look at Love Hip Hop. Look at all these things. Look at everything going on right now. The most you getting out of a black person. When the last time you seen anything intelligent from a black person on television? Now I ain't talking about a little piece segment. I'm talking about like a show of some sort.
Where no ignorance is involved.
Yeah. Some positivity. You had to think too long, right?
Mm-hmm. Because I can't
think of one either.
Mm-mm.
Don't want that. They want the confusion. They want you to see all that. Then your girls grew up like that. The dudes think it's flashy. They have all these chains.
I like the way you put that.
And all of that shit. Just to brainwash these motherfuckers. Like I tell people, you think Black Wall Street became what it became by motherfuckers being selfish?
Mm-mm.
Fuck no.
Mm-mm.
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
Right?
No
So
way
like
no way possible.
But you got Vivica Fox, all these influencers and all these things like that. And all they do is spew is trash. With no point. No point.
Trash and hatred.
That's it.
Like,
now if you gonna be loud and brash or you could complain about something, have some sort of idea of a solution to go along with it. Right? But you can't even get that type of conversation out of people. It has to be that love and hip hop. That's what white people like to see, and what motherfuckers don't understand to the day they die. We will always be their entertainment until we learn to love ourselves and get our own shit together, and quit being scared to open your mouth to your fellow man in the right manner. Cause all black people ain't got a problem checking black folks. You don't. They don't. They ain't gonna do it to white like that. White people in the street. Oh no. Mm-mm.
See, I think it is a problem. See, black folk only check other black folk when it has something to do with them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. Because
to a certain extent,
brother, I've seen black folks get on other black folks for some of the dumbest, and most irrelevant things I've ever heard a day before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've sat and listened to people get clowned over fashion. I've sat and watched people get clowned over money. I've sat and watched people get clowned over cars.
That's true.
See, the black people, our people love to check our people on materialistic shit instead of tangible shit that makes a difference. And that's one of our main issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Like, we're scared to hold people accountable for shit that's worth being accountable for. But the reason why we don't is because we don't feel like we're in the space that we should be in. Instead of recognizing that every place that you're in, you were destined to be there. That's where you're destined to be at that moment.
Not only that, black people got a big fear of being showed up. You know, I'll be down this nigga, I'll do me. That's the hatred of the game. That's the selfishness of the game, man. I mean, it's been boiling. I remember hearing my mom, don't you go in here in front of these white folks and make me look stupid. See what I'm saying? I ain't never heard that shit going on a black person house. You know.
See, my grandmother has said that to me once.
Don't you go in here with all these white people? Like, you know, growing up, I used to be like, what the fuck difference does it make? Like, but like,
why put them on a pedestal?
Right.
Oh, like, you putting them on the pedestal of virtue. Like, they're some of the most virtuous individuals alive. When that is clearly not the case. They human just like us. They shit out the same hole that we do.
Yeah. And
so
if If you go through any type of history, we didn't have some black millionaires. They tell you that we ain't have them back in the day, but we did. But no matter what they've created or whatever, the problem is we quick to sell, which means, you know, you got equity in your house and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to have equity in the game. And a lot of us build to sell, build to sell, build to sell. It still goes on today. You have no real respect in the game. And that's the name of the game. And they know that. They know it. I'm talking about, think about it. I've watched everything since I grew up, bro, that black people did. Sign putting your mama's speakers in your trunk and turned into being automatic when you purchase a vehicle. Niggas didn't know shit about putting those 17, 18, all the way to 20s on your motherfucking car. Now that's a standard rim.
Mm-hmm. And they're flashy.
Right. But in return, they portray us as what? Not as creatives. Right?
But unintelligent.
Not as intelligent, but as buffoons. That's what we get in return. A smack in the fucking face. And this is the things that I wish all people would recognize. While you smile and jiving with these niggas, you think they like you all the time. Bruh, do you see what the fuck going on?
See, the thing with that is a lot of our people, sometimes they get to a certain status to where it's balls to the wall to do anything to try to keep that status. See, we think that status comes with respect and reverence. It does not.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. All it comes with is your name in a phone book for somebody to call. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a contact. That's it. Mm-hmm. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no let me reach back. Let me reach back and see who can I bring up with me. Give them the skills. Check their character to see if it's even worth investing in them. Mm-hmm. And see if my chain, my legacy is going to be one of constant growth.
Mm-hmm.
None of that happens. Oprah, Tyler Perry, all these other fucking rich ass motherfuckers. I'm not trying to count their pockets or anything, but if you think and dig deep, can you name something that they've done for regular Black America? Not saying that they have to do a handout or anything like that.
Hey, you talking about rich Black Americans?
Uh-huh. Where's the hand up? Not just, I don't want a handout. I want a hand up.
Hand up. Right.
Where has that happened?
Well, I'll say this. You can't do too much when you sell your soul. And this ain't no Illuminati shit. A lot of these niggas' hands is tied with another motherfucker. And they can't do shit. Because they're afraid if they do, that white hand they gave them they shot gonna condemn them. And that's the bullshit of the game.
Slavery by any other name is still slavery.
It's still slavery, right? You get mad at motherfuckers who, you know, talking about know their worth and this, and I do admit that has got blown out of proportion. Know your worth. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers think knowing your worth is just a number you think in your head. You know, you got to become that. You know what I'm saying? You got to become that commodity, which we've been forever. Because it seems like everything we touch is gold, becomes golden. You put it on us, it's going to sell. You do this, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, you know. But the problem with us is that we don't recognize the value in each other, even the ones that are famous, even the ones that are rich, even the ones that we don't know. The same thing that you doing for Gucci, you could be doing for your homeboy. 2 Chainz was to wear a GMT shirt, nigga. I bet you I sell 1,000 GMT shirts tonight.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. But for me, you know what he gonna do? He gonna say, well, how much you gonna pay me? Gucci called and said, hey, we'll throw you about 20 outfits. We just want you to wear this one shirt at the awards. All right, bet. That's simple. And all them brands don't give 2 shits about you.
Really don't even want us wearing them.
Mm-hmm. Being clear with it, ain't no really clear about it. But they not gonna pass the money up though.
No,
That they ain't gonna do.
you're right. You're
Gucci
right.
and Versace been stealing black material and reinventing this shit for a long time. A long time. So I mean, you know, these are just some of the things. It's a whole lot more when it comes to ourselves as dudes, as women, and and the biggest thing which what makes them successful is that people take pride in broken homes now. So you already messed up the nation. People can't come together. And now you done disrupt. Now when a man find peace in a woman, you done found the way to disrupt that. Ain't no winning.
That's
Ain't
true.
no winning.
D, you got something in on this?
Oh, I got a lot.
Go ahead. You should
I've
have
been
said
letting y'all
something.
talk. No, I've been listening.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, I'm a black 25-year-old
No.
that lives in America.
What? No,
I know, right? Man. Drives me nuts. Yeah, old. But let's just be honest, when it comes to the black community, the narrative that they wanted, they've got it.
Right.
We're actually starting to see
I'm serious.
we're finally starting to see what they've been creating and they've been pushing for, starting with our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten exactly what they wanted, which is exactly what you said. They've broken everything. Everything is gone. Even self-respect, morality, values, it's gone in our community. And that's the sad part, that no one is really realizing what has happened. Because we're too busy watching shows like Love and Hip Hop, Black Ink Crew. We're too busy watching these shows and wanting to be just like them, looking at these rappers wanting to idolize them. But yet, what are we gaining?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're selling their sales. You're literally paying them to show you a narrative and that you're following. Like that's gold. Like that's how I don't know. I don't know. They don't want.
What you're saying is we found a way to adapt narrative as culture.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
In a foolish way.
Yeah.
Thinking that was the way because you saw easy bucks. You went for the dollar. And not even knowing, like, to go back to what I said, know your worth. You took them couple $100,000 for that punk ass TV show, not knowing if you worth doing that, you damn near worth triple that.
But I mean, let's
something else.
let's go a little deeper. Let's think about even black businesses. A lot of these little black businesses that start off in these little chains like Target, they'll do these chains. They end up all selling out. They sell out. They go from being a small black-owned company to a large white organization.
And that's a fact because of the dollar. Instead of seeking out black folks to invest.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about that fast dollar. But that's the thing. Again, it goes back what they teach you. They think if they're not included, it can't be right. It can't be right.
It can't.
But they not including you.
At all.
None of that shit. Because if they do that, the grand scheme of things will fall. You see what I'm saying? They whole plan to fall. We can't have too many rich niggas running around this motherfucker. Especially if they got a
might
brain.
actually gain some control around here.
Right. Name one contract. I've never seen a contract where one man has creative control over anything if he had primary investors. Not a black man. Ain't gonna let you do that. See what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen. That's what I'm saying. Their way of life is the American dream. That's what they sell. conform to their way. Like I told my dude today, he said, "You do a great job, man. You got great customer service and blah 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 blah. But just kind of liven me up." I said, "What you talking about? Talk white?" He looked at me, huh? I said, "You heard me. I ain't doing it. Not gonna do it. Nope. You just said yourself wasn't shit wrong with what I was doing."
Kind of a backhanded compliment.
Yay.
Like something that I know my sister gets. I get this a lot. And you've expressed to me that your sister gets this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You talk really well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your pronunciation is excellent.
Yeah. Fuck that mean.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? That just because of the hue of my skin that I can't talk with a certain dialect, or I can't be intelligent, or I can't sound intelligent? That's rude, in my opinion. That is extremely rude.
Mm-hmm.
Dia, when's the last time you got that?
I got that the other day. A friend of mine listened to my voicemail for the first time because she never gets my voicemail. And she was just like, if I didn't know it was your phone, I would have swore I just called a white girl.
I'm guilty of that, though. When I left, I'm being real. When I left St. Louis, I was running. Being honest, I was on the run. Went to California. I was out there 5 years before I got my trouble. Karma catch up with you either way. People just let you know. I went 5 states away and still got caught up. But look, everybody out there talk proper as hell. Now, mind you, I'm country as shit. I go out there and I'm running to the gangsters and shit. And I straight talk to sound like, oh, you motherfuckers went to Harvard. I don't know what the fuck going on. Type gay shit y'all did. But that's how ignorant I was. Like, sometimes you gotta get out your bubble to understand. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, you do.
But white folk, it's a little different because they would swear that like you and Polo was in the suburbs amongst them cats. Like you was great. Like my brother, he catch it all the time. He hates it. But white people straight say stuff. You know what? You're not like the rest of them.
Oh, I've heard that.
I've gotten that comment before.
But we're like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. They don't understand. And they don't understand, but it goes a little deeper on their thing because the stuff that they do and they want to, quote unquote, mental illness and all that stuff, man, that shit in their genes, bro.
We were just talking about this earlier. And I think I said something on the lines of this.
Yeah.
I literally just said this earlier.
And I called it genetic racism.
Mm-hmm. It's in their genes, like to want to take over, conquer, and all that shit. Just like black people are very emotional, defensive, you know what I'm saying? And things like that.
And can be very caring and sharing.
Yeah. And you can't say black folks ain't never been the most caring and sharing, goddamn it, the shit we been put through, and all them motherfuckers still alive. Boy, shit. Don't tell me black folks ain't loving.
Yeah. That's true. It's just weird how cultural differences can be genetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how the desire to conquer, the desire to rule, the desire to fetishize, the desires of just obtaining great wealth without the care or wherewithal of the others, well-being. It's amazing how that stuff almost homogenizes over time. To where it's just passed, and just one day you could just wake up. You could literally just wake up one day and go on a complete rampage, whether it's in business or whether it's like this motherfucker and go on a shooting spree.
Right.
Like that shit is genetic, and usually it's sad, but what's been handed down through us, I would say for about what 200 to 300, 400 years now, has always been forgiveness. Always been forgiveness.
We sorry.
Okay. Alex, just don't do it again. And what happens? It happens again. Like we literally have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Literally. Every black person alive.
We're the walking definition of the definition, bro. Like that's what it's
and here's the killing thing. You can even pass down pseudo Stockholm syndrome. Because let me tell you why. Us as Black Americans, we're not stupid. A lot of us are not stupid.
I don't think none of us stupid, just ignorant.
And we all hail from different places, whether it's the suburbs, whether it's the inner city, whether you're lower class, middle class, upper class. There's one thing that all of us do. And it's only because we've been told what to do with the situation. And that's the talk that you have with your kids when they're encountering with the police.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even had to have an encounter with the police, but you still give that talk.
I give you a real experiment, which y'all probably already did. Y'all are old enough. I ain't never spoke hatred to my kids. I was never spoke hatred. About police. I've never spoke hatred about police to my kids. Hatred about police was never spoke to me. But for some reason, nigga, if you tell your kids at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, keep on to call them damn boys on your ass, you gonna go to jail. What the kid do?
Bust out crying.
Bust out crying.
Bust out crying. And I think that's a damn shame.
It is.
It's a damn shame that it's so encoded in the DNA that that's always the first reaction.
Yep.
Whenever, like, you could be doing everything right, everything, hitting your signals, merging on time, all this different type of stuff. But as soon as you look in your rear view mirror and see a police car,
Driving while black.
the sirens don't even have to come on. Don't even have to come on. You just got to see them in one of your mirrors. You start tightening up. You tighten up.
Right.
It shouldn't be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It really shouldn't. And I think,
home.
like,
they want to make it home.
I'm just trying to make it home.
You got a gun. You talking about you want to make it home. You got a vest on, all that shit, bro.
And the likelihood of you getting shot in an encounter is less than a percentage of me getting shot in this encounter.
Yep. You remember I showed you that video? When them Trump guys was tripping, I was driving, I had to pull over, help that black girl out. They put that Trump sign in her face, and she moved out the way, and they was about to jump that girl. I recorded the whole fucking thing, and 2 police officers came, talking about, if that was your sign, would you want somebody knock down your sign? I was like, come on, bro. I had to tell old girl, don't even say shit. And then the chief police had to came, he was in there black, he checked their motherfucking ass, like, what the fuck you mean? Now, that shit was bogus as fuck. But that's shit that goes on all the damn time. You know, you don't get to do stuff like that and think you're supposed to get away with it.
See,
if you go back in the last 6 occurrences of black dudes, they all been killed with nothing in their hand.
Except for 1 or 2.
Who?
Well, dude up there, what was that in Wisconsin? Another dude up there in Wisconsin, where he actually had a knife in his hand.
A knife?
Yeah.
A knife.
Hey, you said something.
Now I know. I'm not talking about the one you talking about. Old boy that went to his baby mama house and all that shit.
Yeah,
it was more to that. He was an asshole. He forgive me, but I don't mean asshole. It was a lot more to that. He wasn't supposed to be over there.
Yeah, she had a restraining order on him.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be over there. Had kids in the back and was trying to run off with them kids and all that stuff. That he kind of, I hate saying it, but he kind of brought his own. But like, when you got a cop outside your car, he asks you, do you got a gun? You got a license? You tell him it's in the middle. And the cop's scared, he shoot you.
Philando Castile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit like that. You know, old boy who got choked out for selling Lucy's. Right? Shit like that I'm talking about. Mike Brown here. Got shot running.
Yeah.
All these things, bruh. You know, I forgot my boy name. God rest his soul. That shit brought me to tears. I think he had autism or something.
Oh my God, in Denver.
I cried, bro. Because hearing that video, hearing him talk,
you could tell you knew something.
You knew it. And then they sat there and jacked him full of that dope. And even the dude, you could hear him plain as day on the video, admitting they basically gave him too much dope. Had no reason. They lied. No reason dude did it. Because when he got there, they knew they beat him up. They was like, yeah, he was like so strong, we had to do da 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 da. And on the video, they did none of that. So they shot him all that dope, bro. And nothing happens. Nothing happens, bro. This is the world we live in, but I want people to understand that this ain't just started.
No.
This ain't
and it's
just
not
started,
just us
bro.
either.
That time, yeah, exactly. That time Dry While Black ain't just start. Please been doing this shit forever, bro. Ever.
See, D, you stay in Minnesota. Could you tell us how things were? Really?
What do you mean? Like in general?
When all that stuff popped off, whether it was Philando Castile and or George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, in all honesty, the cities instantly went to protest. Instantly went to wanting to show resistance. Now, there's a little bit of a difference just because with George Floyd, I mean, as y'all know, there was a lot more to the riots that happened here than just people wanting to go loot. It was definitely orchestrated, but I mean, the people came together. It was more so to show that this can't happen here.
Right.
Like, this needs to stop. Our police, in all honesty, most of the police here are racist. Most of them are racist. I don't have issues with them just because of my voice and the way that I talk. I get out of stuff, but it's still, even with speaking proper, it's just the color of my skin. I'm black. And don't let my hair actually be natural, since my hair is natural. Then you're just looking at me like this. Yeah, you still who you are, regardless of how you talk. If I don't have to deal with the police, I don't.
How was some of the experiences with our little brother?
So when it comes to his case, so our brother was killed. It was gun violence
I'm
here in
talking
Minneapolis,
about how was his run-ins with the police?
So Chucky could talk his way out of anything. Chucky could talk. He used to talk his way out of tickets and stuff. I don't know how he used to, because he was dark-skinned with dreads, but he would figure out a way to talk himself out of tickets and stuff. He was able to talk himself out of encounters, but he definitely had encounters with the police, especially because he drove nice cars. So how can this, you look at this nice, you see a Cadillac, and then you look in the car and you see dark skin, a nigger with dreads? Oh, that can't be his car. Lights.
Yep.
So I mean, it's sad, but it's the same. It's the same here. I mean, it might be worse than some cities, but these officers here, they are all loose cannons. Most of them are loose cannons. That's the inner city, the suburbs. I'm surprised actually there's not more police actually killings in the suburbs than there are.
Because
Very
they're scared
surprising.
they're scared of who they touch. Me and Polo talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
They know in them suburbs, they don't want to get caught touching the wrong kid. A lot of suburbs got kids and it's related to who do you know who, this, that, and the third. And
They don't
touching
want
on
to
them,
touch
that's
the
their job.
wrong kid. They don't want to touch the wrong husband, the wrong wife, anything like that.
Right.
Because that shit falls back on them and they can get them to lose their job.
They know the zones they can get the shit away with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go into the city, St. Louis City or North County, and they grab a kid, beat the fuck out of him, like I said, it has that rep. So whatever they put on paper, guess what? It's gonna be believable.
That's fucked up.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they could legit drive down the street and be like, he waved a gun at us, we chased him down, blase, blase, and this went down. They're gonna believe it because the area that it happened in.
Yeah. That's sad. Now
you go snatch a little white boy off the street from goddamn St. Peter's or something. No, that type of shit don't happen like that over here. It's gonna be an investigation. Y'all gotta give me a little more proof what the fuck went on with this little white boy, because this type of shit don't happen over here. Then the cops gonna get investigated and probably get suspended for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? No, that shit.
See, that shit happens a lot more often than what you think. Actually, here in Kansas City, it actually goes down. Like they do that in the suburbs here.
What?
They do. Like we have several cases that are still open, still waiting to go to trial for police shootings in the suburban areas. Just last year, there was a young guy. He just so happened to be white, and he was scared of the police because he felt like they had been watching him for the past couple of days. And
are you talking about where the white guy shot the police and killed one of the two officers?
No, this guy, he didn't even shoot an officer. He was just in his car, and when the officer pulled the gun out on him, his natural reflex was to put the car in reverse. So as soon as he put it in reverse, they opened fire on him in that car. 11 officers opened fire.
Oh, I remember that, bro. Black dude. They went to his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that these motherfuckers was watching him, man. And these niggas was they wanted him. It was more to that shit. Cause these motherfuckers was caught on somebody's Ring doorbell going past. They was in a pickup truck, bro.
Yeah, that was here.
Sitting in the back of a pickup truck. I said, what the fuck? What kind of cops is this?
Yeah, and I remember, matter of fact, I remember you asking me that, and I said that's how SWAT rolls here sometimes when they're trying to do a swift kick in. But it was a very nice suburban area, so that stuff does happen.
And he said that they excuse what said he tried to run over police officers, and if you see the way he reversed out of the way of them.
Yeah. And they
said
just
the car is a weapon, so get the fuck out. That I remember that shit, bro.
They let loose into that gentleman's car. Everybody did, from 9mm to AR-15.
Everybody. And that's the thing, bro. Like, how is that justifiable, bro? Remember that one white cop jumped on the hood of that girl car
and was firing into the car?
Yeah, killed her. Wasn't the baby in that motherfucker?
Yep, baby was in the back seat.
It was justifiable though.
But he didn't have to hop on the hood either.
He had to do nothing. He had to shoot in the car because they didn't even have nothing. Said he was supposed to look for her boyfriend or something like that.
It's just a shame when it's us. We can get killed when they're even looking for somebody.
But you better not have a cigarette in your hand.
like young gentlemen up there in Minnesota again.
So actually, most recently,
Yeah, in
a
Minnesota
boy I
again.
went to so actually this wasn't the headline. I've seen this on Facebook. A man I went to school with, he was just he walked into a store. He's also tall, dark skinned with dreads. He walked into a store. 2 officers literally grabbed him, sling him down. They were actually going to shoot him if he didn't get on the ground. They threatened to shoot him inside the store and arrested him, literally roughed him up. They didn't beat him or anything, but just because they thought he was someone that was being looked for and that had a warrant in Indiana. So, I mean, they still do this. Like, there could have been another just police shooting here in Minnesota. So, hey.
But the crazy thing about Minnesota, could you tell us or enlighten us on what happened when they experimented with defunding the police?
Oh my gosh. So what happened, what I knew was going to happen. So yes, our police here are racist, but some cities need them. You know, I'm not going to lie. Like, if it's a rough city, it needs some type of law enforcement.
Like North Minneapolis?
Like North Minneapolis. North Minneapolis needs police. The North Side needs police. They can't, because crime has already been super high. If it's a city with high crime, when you take the police away from a city with high crime, all you're going to do is get more crime.
What?
That's all it does. It's common sense. And Minneapolis did exactly what I knew it would. The city was defunded for, I want to say 2 years. 2 years now. There's barely any police. They just actually got their funding back. There's barely any police, but there's killings and shootings all the time. Like, if you're over there, you're running the risk of potentially seeing shooting or being shot just by being an innocent bystander.
Huh.
Wow. So the North Side was a war zone.
The North Side is currently a war zone.
Damn.
Currently. Now, St. Paul is no better, but Minneapolis is.
Shit.
You don't go over there unless you absolutely need to.
I don't understand that. Why they pull all the funds like that? It was never meant to be like that.
So they actually pushed for it here. So what they did was, after George Floyd, all of the, I'm going to call them radical liberals. They were the radical liberals. We have radical liberals here. And they don't live in the city, but the police are killing innocent Black people in the city, so we can't have the police in the city. That was their mindset. They wanted to get rid of them. And so they pushed for it, and they voted on it. And everyone voted for it. So
even the regular citizens voted for it?
They pushed Governor Fry into defunding them. So that was a part of the protest, and that was a part of a lot of what was happening here, is since George Floyd needed to be it for Minneapolis. They needed to not have the power to be able to have situations like this happen anymore. So the thought process was, get rid of the police.
That's dumb as shit.
It really was the dumbest shit ever. It really was. I don't understand. I still don't understand what the thought process was or how you thought this was going to work. As soon as I heard about it, I said, that's not going to work.
Because that was never that was never meant to be like here when they defund the police. They just took like funds that were sitting, for shit they was spending on shit they wasn't never gonna use and shit like that. They took that shit away.
No, there was a police shortage in Minneapolis where they were literally outsourcing some officers from other cities.
No, you can't do that.
I know here after that whole incident with George Floyd and all that different type of shit, these motherfuckers started to reallocate funds from the police department. The police chief quit. He quit once they did that. And there was a mass walkout because of that. And the fact that the mayor thought if you want to live, if you want to be a police officer in Greater Kansas City, you should live in Greater Kansas City.
Well, that's how it really is. That's how the law, when you become a police officer, you supposed to, they don't make them do that though.
So it was a mass walkout. Crime went up. Crime went up. And when I tell you that motherfuckers started hunting police officers here, they really did. They really started to hunt police officers.
I remember you telling me about that.
Like,
yeah,
within, I want to say, about a span of 3 or 4 months, at least 16 police officers got killed here. At least 16. Because people had enough. People had enough of them and they bullshit and everything like that. So parts of me understood it, but I didn't celebrate, because any loss of life, in my opinion, is just that. It's a loss of life. You didn't even have the chance to change who you are as a person if you were a fucked up person. Or if you was a good person, we just lost somebody that was dear to life. But I couldn't help but to be like, you know what? I'm not angry. I'm not angry, because a bunch of shit just started happening here just out of the blue. Like, Kansas City had never been that way. Never been that way. But all this shit stems from the news creating narratives, the news doing this, the news doing that. A lot of people listen to the news. They listen to CNN, they listen to Fox News, and that's where they draw their opinions from. So I was not surprised that our people and their people were basically on the verge of a civil war in Kansas City over ideas that's being propagated to them from a stupid box, where they're getting the orders from on top on down to give this message out. Like, I was at a loss for words, but I was not upset at all.
That's where it all starts, man. That's what the whole thing is over. Like, you are not, me, you and her are not allowed to have ideas. We were never meant in this country to ever be free thinkers.
Mm-mm.
You know,
a free thinker is a dangerous thinker.
It would be common sense to understand that. That's why it's called TV programming, like 100%. You know what I'm saying? They control that idiot box. They know the world is 99.9999999 followers, and the 1% who eyes are open wide and they can see through the bullshit is the ones that tend to not last too long. Hence of Malcolm X, hence of Martin Luther King, hence of, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They control. You think CNN, Democrat, Fox, Republican. Really, nigga? This is nobody can see that this is by design. I'm being real, like, for real. It's all by design, bro.
It is. It literally is all by design.
Because it used to be illegal to spread false news.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't today.
Because there was a lawsuit.
You know?
And it was put out there because these news companies, Viacom, all these different places, you know, they own all these little subsidiary companies.
Mm-hmm.
They had to go to court just like Vince McMahon had to go to court. Because remember, when Vince went, he had to change it to sports entertainment.
He was sued by the real WWE, the Wildlife, some people.
Mm-hmm. and he had to spin it to where they were sports entertainment.
Right.
The news is now considered entertainment. Here's the thing: if you could win a Grammy or an Oscar, whatever it is, it's entertainment.
Should not even. That means y'all some higher class acting motherfuckers up there, bro. Like,
if you get ratings, you're entertainment.
The people who get the stories don't get no credit, bro. Like, I watched this YouTube video. It was cycling through every city, and every city at 5 o'clock was saying the same shit, word from word. You could go look that video. I promise to God, it was like they chopped the whatever the story was. They chopped it up with different faces saying a piece of the sentence. Like, every city literally was reporting the main story, and it was the same paragraph. That blew my fucking mind, bro. I was like, see, like you, it's just up to us to tell our own, bro. Like, for real, man. Like, it's not much you can say about it. You sit there and watch TV shows. You see they shit is clean cut. You see us, we look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be not so much so.
And then the ones that's acting like all ignorant with us is the ones that they done disowned.
Well, not even that shit. They keeping the shit party going. He getting paid more than everybody on there. That one white boy that's on that show with them niggas getting paid more than everybody on that motherfucker to keep the party going. But I mean, for real, bro. Do y'all know a white dude own that shit? He what's his name? Gay white dude, man, he from here. Fuck, Love and Hip Hop, all that shit. That's all up under his banner. He got a Redbird show here where they talk sports. He a gay dude, gay white man. I'm just saying, bro. Like, people,
and that's another thing that's being pushed hard on our people.
Man,
that's another thing. I say that's white culture also. That is white culture also.
It's a made up culture.
No, that's white culture. That's white culture. Because think about it. Everything you know about some of our ancient civilizations, that shit wouldn't even have been tolerated.
Well, it's not about I think that's now you saying that or whatever. And I know I poke fun and shit like that because you fuck with me, everybody can get it. I don't give a fuck. Straight up, I don't give a shit. But like, I don't think I hate the word tolerated. Whatever, because like I feel like people should be able to do what they want to do. But y'all just because you gay, I don't give a fuck, right? And that's all it should be. It ain't my business. It ain't what you do. Walk the way you want to walk. Talk the way you want to talk. All of that shit, bruh. There's no culture in a sexual preference.
They've made one.
But it's
not a race.
But the most dangerous thing is that it's being propagated onto children now.
Yeah, bro. Like, and that's the thing, man. You ain't even got to do that. That's the part where now I can agree with you on that. Because like, when I came up, they said sissies and all that stuff. Now I understand that's a bad word and all that shit. That's cool, fine, this and third. But what's that? What? How they used to say back in the day? What's understood don't need to be said, or some shit like that.
What's understood ain't never got to be said.
Right? We knew. You know what I'm saying?
What's understood don't need to be explained.
Yeah. There you go. Like, if you ever seen Revenge of the Nerds, everybody knew what Dwayne looked like. We knew what Dwayne was. If you watch the Muppets, the little one with the long eyelashes and shit, the cum umbrellas on and all that. Yeah, him. Yeah, we knew who he was.
Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, in the tub together.
But we knew. Bring that shit home.
It didn't need to be. You know what I'm saying? Where they had to perpetuate it out there and make these kids so curious. You know what I mean? Let me tell y'all something. This the shit to get me too. Because see, I come in an era, like I said, it's based on us too though, man, when it comes to that. Because man, we grew up in an era with a Big League bubble gum. I grew up with candy cigarettes. Everything that was bad for you was they knew what they was doing. Right? They turned it into a candy. Motherfucking Fun Dip. What was Fun Dip with that stick, nigga?
That was lines.
Thank you, dog.
That was lines.
Get that Fun Dip, nigga.
That was lines. That was lines. And the Big Chew was chewing tobacco.
Thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's what I'm saying. As parents, we gotta step in. We need to step in strong on that because that type of shit right there ain't cool, bro. You know what I mean? And I know it used to be a taboo, and it's people are more out in the open. And I'll be the first to say I saw it coming.
Issue. That's not the issue, though. The issue is when you're pushing it on children.
Yeah,
like
I think when you're taking the conversation from the parents, you get what I'm saying? Like that conversation should come from the parents. It shouldn't come from them.
Yeah.
You know, they got a whole thing on YouTube. I am not making this up. It's a cartoon about when young women and young boys come of age and they in the tub, and the damn teacher lady's basically insinuating, don't get too happy with that towel. I'm not making this up. You could look it up. You could look it up while I'm on here. And then she's just like, you know, when you down there, I don't even want to explain it, but you know what I'm saying. These are teacher things they're planning to show in their sex ed or whatever. But why does sex ed need to be in kindergarten?
Why is it down in kindergarten now? Period. Like there's a
that's not okay.
No, it's not. Let a kid be a kid.
We shouldn't be teaching sexuality in elementary school.
Facts.
Like these kids are literally just now learning the goddamn ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Right.
Why would you put something else on so they can walk around playing in the playground? Ooh, I'm gay. Ooh, you're my boyfriend.
You're kind of causing the issue with that, because like even if it don't turn that boy gay, you giving ammo to somebody make fun of, or because let's be honest, kids are gonna be kids, bro.
Live programming.
Yeah, kids are gonna be kids. If you hear that shit sound funny. You remember being in class, somebody say something sound funny, it'd be just a word, and it should sound funny, everybody laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever. And things like that. Like, I think those, like I say, are supposed to be for the adult conversation to have with your kids. It's not for school. It's not. When you get to junior high and shit like that, you know, sex ed and this and that third, when they come to adolescence of being curious, that's a different thing. You know, I come from when, I know it's a far back, but, you know, I'm not all for speeding up our little girls' mindsets. I remember seeing girls, goddamn me, wearing pigtails till they were about 11, 12, 13 years old. You see what I'm saying? They didn't at fucking 5 and got box braids in their hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's totally weird now, and we don't see that's the stuff we putting on our children. You know, and then I hear a lot of men and women say, "Oh, he know he ain't supposed to do that. The fuck he supposed to know anything? The nigga just got on Earth." You know, we gotta be better. We have to be more instrumental in our children's life, even if that dude ain't got a daddy or a mom. You know, as aunties, uncles, all of that stuff. I try to be in my nephew lives all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Phone numbers. What you doing, nigga? We did your homework. You know, I'm on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like another daddy. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let me find out from your daddy and your mama you fucking up type. You know what I mean? Like, be that for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Letting this TV sitting there talking about you can't say gay. Nigga, gay, motherfucker. He said the fuck I want to say. You not gonna tell me I can't say that. Like, you can say what you want to say. You know what I mean? It's like ostracized. Like, now we gonna say gay folks is a race. No, nigga, gay, that's a sexual orientation, nigga. You ain't come from a place called Gay Asia or nothing like that. It ain't another country called that. It ain't none of that shit. You are just gay. There's gay Asians, there's gay blacks, there's gay whites, there's gay every race. And you don't deserve special privileges for it. I'm sorry. Because at the end of the day, when you at home by yourself, you a black man. Or you Asian, or you Mexican, or you Spanish, or you whatever. Shit. Fill an application, I bet you don't put down you gay.
Yes, you do. 'Cause
That's
they
on
definitely do like
applications
this.
now.
Yeah, it's definitely on applications now.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
After race, you gonna
Now that's
they
the
gonna
thing.
ask
Now
you
check
your
this
sexual
out.
preference.
Now that's some bullshit. And I'm not saying it to go against them. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Who business is it?
It's
You
not
just- you
because
just-
it's against most companies' HR sexual. How can you sit here and tell people, "Oh, let us know what your sexual preference is"?
That's what I'm
Then turn around and
saying.
say you can't sexually harass people and you can't do this you can't do anything when it comes to any type of sexuality in the workplace. But we want to know what you are.
Man,
prefer?
dude, they need to understand that they were number two to be exploited, and they've been exploited to the max, and they exploited themselves. Stop it. Live your life. Be free. Fuck that, man. It's 2020 now, nigga. Gay people been around forever doing what the fuck they want to do, anyways. But the catch is this: I was taught to fucking be around the people who like me. Quit going around motherfuckers who don't like you. God damn it.
But that's the thing, though. Everyone wants to. If you don't believe, you have to believe in what I believe in.
No,
That's
we
that
have
whole
to all be the same.
ideology shit. No,
that's that inclusive shit. Don't nobody like that. Like, honestly, nobody does.
No.
Why would I want to be
people, like-minded people who like you?
Why the fuck would I want to waste my time sitting in a room talking about things that matter to me with a bunch of motherfuckers who don't even want me around?
Bro, I'm not finna go around a bunch of gay people who talking about sucking dicks and shit. Right? And make myself feel uncomfortable. Why would I do that? So I would expect them to do the same. If I was gay, all right, I'm not finna go around no people I know that may or may not like gay people, bro. I'm gonna find like-minded people. When you like comic books, right? Yes, I'm comparing comic books to that gay sexual orientation. Yes, I am. And I'm not gonna go around a bunch of people who don't never read comic books, don't give a fuck about no comic books, and just start talking comic books. When I do that, they gonna look at me like this. Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? You get what I'm saying? Why? Why are y'all not teaching that? Go be around people who support you, who love you, and all of that that's about what you about. You feel what I'm saying?
Because that goes against the narrative as take me as I am.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nigga, everybody don't like me, nigga. And I don't expect it. I don't. Like, if you not my cup of tea, cool. Respect, homie. I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ain't gonna like everybody, but you can't expect me to like you because the way you like to get down on the bed, homie. I'm sorry. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
The sad thing is their community is actually split because a lot of the older ones, the ones that got good sense or whatever, they can't stand none of these new.
That's because they the OGs, bruh. That look, Lord rest her soul, my Aunt Dorothy. She never hid that shit, bro. Had a S-curl box, nigga slicked on the sides with the waves and a ducktail, nigga. Never hid that shit. Nor did she make you accept it. Nor did she give a fuck if you liked it. Right?
Right.
It ain't me enjoying what you do. Is that gonna make your life better? Fuck no. Fuck no. Quit creating this fake ass facade about not being included, Nigga, y'all been included in every fucking thing.
Bruh, that's all.
I don't like that. Like, and that goes for everything else. Everybody, anybody. Quit trying to be accepted. Learn what self-validation is. Stamp yourself.
Lord.
Stamp yourself.
I think we've had this argument, me and you, offline about the validation, because the way we are groomed as children is to seek validation.
But that's from mommy and daddy, man.
No, even from school. You see little Julie over there on the other side, and your homeboy, whatever, they get that gold star on that test. Right. You don't get no gold star. Right. You're gonna do everything to get that gold star.
But that's school though. That's something to strive towards. That's like
validation.
Well, yeah, like you.
But it's not accepting that. Hey,
I'm talking about from regular. I'm talking about from like Tom, Dick, and Harry. They ain't got shit to do with the vital of your life. That's like, because you supposed to strive to get your, you want to get your high school diploma. You want to do that. That's like damn near like setting a goal. But Polo, if you outdo me, and I'm not finna feel some type of way about it.
I'm not about to feel some type of way about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't give a fuck with you. I still feel like I'm the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's supposed to be. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, like, I do understand what you're saying though, because like, everything you do, mommy, look what I did, and you know what I mean. You do grow up in that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at some point down the line, your parents, this and third, look, at some point, hey, what you doing, boy? This is for you.
But
you gotta learn to have confidence in yourself. You gotta understand.
Not happening.
You feel what I'm saying? What you doing ain't gonna benefit me. This is to benefit you. You gotta have the confidence to walk through life. You gotta have, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying.
Happening. That's not happening a lot. It's really not, because nowadays with these kids, you always gonna be my baby. You always gonna, raising a bunch of baby boys. Whether it's boys or girls, raising a bunch of them. That's what we have. Like what you said earlier, we're the only people who accept dysfunction as culture.
Yeah, that shit not cool, bro.
Like we take pride in broken homes.
Yeah, that shit not cool, bro.
They're used, like you said, and like I say, shame has went away, because you should not be happy that you're a baby's mother.
Right. That's nothing to be proud of.
And
it's also nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
But it's nothing to gloat about. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not the goal. Wasn't that hurts my soul. Like ain't the goal to be married, and you gloating like being a baby mama to somebody is the shit. That's not where the goal is. The goal is to be married and find somebody, and if that's not for you, so be it. Stay single. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in no rut that you can't get out of.
But don't be good. See, a lot of times we bring up kids in dysfunction. We bring up kids in dysfunction and expect them to get out there and just deal with it, because that's just what we expect of them, not knowing that we should be doing the opposite. When we're raising them, let them know that the situation isn't copacetic. This is not what you want. This is not how life should be. But if it happens, it is what it is. But this is not what you strive for. We have women out here telling other young ladies, sleep with them just so you can get the bag. And that in that instance, the bag is a child, because that's 18 years of child support.
Right.
Plus 4 more if they decide to go to college.
18 years, until you find out the baby ain't his. That's some bullshit.
And then these dudes, a lot of dudes think that because mama took care of them, a woman's supposed to take care of them.
Well, that's what ended up happening. That's the complex that women don't understand that they give off. They be like, they be like, my mom raised us by herself, and this and that. And the whole time they telling me this shit, I'm looking at how they moving their neck and all this stuff, and they don't understand that. Like, you picked up a whole lot. A lot of those guys, and some are successful dudes, and things like that. But in certain situations, they can't hack it. They can't handle it. You know, they don't understand. They picked up majority of their traits from a female. You know what I'm saying? That's all they had to watch. And that's the issue. I think when you say it to a lot of guys, they think like you're saying it as it's a resort to failure. But that's not what I'm saying. When it comes down to it, can you change a tire? No, that's what AAA for. You ever cut the grass? No. I pay a lot. You understand what I'm saying? Like he don't understand the things, the building blocks that he would need to survive.
They don't understand the hardship of masculinity.
Yeah, for real. And I don't believe every man got to be masculine. I believe every man can have something they can bring to the table. But it's when it gets to the point where you're gospeling like men. Gospeling like females. You know, the barbershop and turn to the beauty shop and things like that. You get what I'm saying? And instead of doing things about it, you just running your trap. You know, so to speak. And then they can't even recognize for themselves because they think, like you say, the idea of having money is everything. You know, that's no offense, D-Dot, but that's more of a line of what a woman would think. For a woman, money is stability. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For a man, we know how to produce that, but we also know money is not the end all or be all.
No. Hell, a lot of people don't know. For the fathers that make shit happen, y'all will understand how much we make a lot of shit happen with a little bit of nothing, actually. Like mothers get the same credit when it comes to taking care of the household. Not even going to take that away. But when it comes to going outdoors, the amount of shit that we take care of on a budget, or just because we've been sacrificing ourselves for a long time just to make it happen.
It's
y'all
a lot
have
of
no
smile
clue.
and nodding that go on. You want to fuck somebody up, but you can't do it because you got a family at home and you got to be out to take care of their asses. And if you were single and had no kids, no wife, that same motherfucker you smile and nod to, you be them fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? Like it be stressful sometimes, bro. It be stressful. That's real. But no, like on everything. But women got they thing. You know what I'm saying? They have the loving, the nurturing side. They have skills that most men would never be able to possess.
No.
When it comes to that, because that's what they're born with. You know what I'm saying? They're the emotional side.
The problem with society now is that we have tried to make everyone equal. Instead of embracing the differences in men and women.
That's
Instead of embracing it, we're wanting to, oh, well, you know what? I'm a strong, independent woman. Even though I can't change that tire. I don't need a man in my life. Even though I can't do these things, or even the fact that I just don't know these things. I just don't need that in my life. I can do it all on my own. And they do the same with men. It's a cycle of wanting to, even though I don't even know. What were you about to say?
No, I think it's a role reversal thing as well, because they want to do. A lot of women feel like they can do what men do.
Mm-hmm.
So then they say, "What are you? Really, you're just a sperm donor." And that tells me you never had a man before, right? Because if the tables truly turn, I tell every woman this: I could do everything I need to do on my own with no problem. I don't necessarily have to have my hand out. I'm always gonna find a way, this and that. So when I have a woman, I really don't care that you got a degree. I really don't care how much money you got, because you know why? I'm never gonna ask you for none of it. You know what I'm saying? What do you bring to the table, right? Because in essence, it's been simple math from the beginning. Men have always been givers. Women have always been takers. Well, I hate using receivers, right? Receivers, right? Hence, That's why we got the wee and y'all got the hole. It's always been that way. Men were put here when y'all in a relationship, man pleases woman is happy, and everything goes great, right? Simple science. It's never been that the woman is supposed to be more masculine than the man, and this, that, and the third. Because if it ever comes to that bit, then something go down and you step in front of that bullet. Then you're going to hear, When we get ready to walk in this building, you open the door. You see what I'm saying? You can't jump. This ain't hopscotch, bro. You ain't about to be jumping in and out like that. It's either you go all the way or don't. Because men don't believe in half stepping. Either we gonna do it or we're not. There's no picking and choosing. So I'm a firm believer in roles.
But the thing is, a lot of times women don't understand. That's simple. That's simple to know about men. But what they don't know, that gets over accentuated when it comes to them. You find yourself saying yes to shit that you normally say no to. You end up doing that. Shit that you would not even be down to fucking do if you were single.
You do it for her.
You do it for her. A lot more shit than what, honestly, fuck. Sometimes a lot more than what women actually give up when it comes to relationship. But compromise is not bad. I'm not saying that compromise is bad.
That's what relationship is about. Compromise.
Yeah, it's just, it's not even.
No, it's never gonna be even. It's never gonna be even because you gotta remember we are a tad bit more stable, or let me say this because how today is, we're supposed to be a tad bit more stable than women. You know, women are supposed to be quiet. Women are supposed to be sensitive. Women are, this and the third. Men are supposed to be strong enough to hold that situation together until he can solve it.
Yeah. See, but another thing, and DL can speak on this. A lot of women don't actually know how to be women. Well, a lot of women don't. And I know she's seen it. I've seen it. I know you've seen it. And also a lot of men don't know how to be men either.
True. I want to say this real quick before anybody see this. When I said roles, I don't mean women should wash dishes instead. I mean like when you're in a relationship, y'all know it's like a puzzle. Who good at what type shit. You get what I'm saying? Because you do got men who like to cook. I don't shame that man for that. What I'm saying is that, it's roles, bro. Like a band. There's roles. Yeah. Everybody can't be the lead singer. You get what I'm saying? So
it's not
in a relationship, you have to figure that out. And then when y'all figure that out, it shouldn't be y'all should argue very little. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But both sides have to pull their weight.
Yeah. Like there's certain skills that a lot of men and a lot of women just don't have no more when it comes to relationships. Like DL. Little sister, have you ever heard my wife cut me off while I'm talking? You still there?
Walked away.
No, I'm here.
Oh.
I was thinking.
You ain't never seen it.
No.
Have
and
you
I've
ever
been stayed with y'all?
Have you ever seen her try to overtalk me?
No.
When you stayed, who made all the decisions?
You definitely did for a lot of things.
But who ran the house?
Oh, I should definitely ran everything though.
So what did
you make decisions, but she ran it.
Mm-hmm. Did that seem like a functional relationship to you?
I'm sorry, I made an ice cream, but honestly, I love y'all relationship. I really do. Just because of the balance that y'all have. Like, I think I've been around one small disagreement. It wasn't even an argument, but it was communication, and people forget that. And that's the problem. A lot of people really don't know how to communicate these days to be able to express themselves without victim blaming, so victimizing themselves, and honestly hitting low blows. People don't know how to communicate without
Yeah, bro.
having to hit someone in a harder way to make them feel worse than what they feel at that moment.
Yeah, that shit
It's
whack,
not
bro.
that in I haven't seen that. And I've known
That's good.
years. So I mean, well,
Years beyond years. It is because she understands what it is to be a woman. If I'm having a conversation with somebody, she'll leave the room.
That's old school. Like I said, that's home training, bro. Like I said, my old lady, before she passed, like I said, if you would have came over, the most you probably heard, y'all want something to drink? Just cook, you want some meat? Right if she got done with that shit, all right, y'all, I'll catch y'all in a minute. She gonna go in the room, read her book, or we done went outside or something. She, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, you know, and these girls today think like they just supposed to be like that. Like the old girl I was just with, like she like, we watching football. Why can't I watch football in there with y'all? What you need to be here amongst all these men for? Take your ass and, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, what you said, like, no, like you don't want me coming y'all girls' night and sit in the middle of y'all all night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has to be, like you say, a firm balance and a great understanding. The greatest thing you can do in a relationship, I tell everybody, they always ask about me and my wife why we got along, is that for one, she pays attention to her man. That's the first thing. 2, I pay attention to her 100%. 3, I'm not scared to tell you motherfuckers that nigga, y'all not finna get me in trouble. So y'all better, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Be quiet, nigga. She sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, you know, because this is our world in here, and it's my job to protect that. You know what I'm saying?
Protect the sanctity of your own home.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And she tell her homegirl, hey, shut up. This thing about to get at work in a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to work. You know, shit like that. And that's why we didn't. I knew once that kitchen was clean at 9. I told you that kitchen was shut down at 9 o'clock. Hey, y'all want some drink? You better come here and get it. Cause once I wash these dishes, I been out here cabinet open. Bottled water for everybody. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you can respect each other to that standpoint, you shouldn't have no disagreement. And if it is, it's about some real cash shit. You know what I mean?
But even then, you should be able to talk through it.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be some yelling, but it ain't about be no you bitch. Ain't finna be none of that shit.
See, I don't think that a lot of things you should have to raise your voice about.
No.
Like,
I'm just saying there will be some here and there.
There'll be some here or there, but if it's more here than there, then that's an issue. Like, I could just say something like, hey, that was fucked up what you did, or something like that along that line. She'll be like, what was it? I'll explain. And she gives her explanation why she was like that at that period of time. And I'm one of them, I be understanding shit. I really do, because I'm not at my best all the time. So I can understand how something or somebody could rub me the wrong way. So I can see it can rub you the wrong way. I get that. I really do. She gives her side. I'm like, okay, whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop. Just, if you have a grievance like that, I'm not telling you to be a bitch or anything, but just bring it to me. Just bring it to me. And if I say, hey, fire off on that motherfucker, then do it.
Right.
Then do it. Or if you feel like it's something big enough to where I should be involved, just let me know. You don't have to just pop off all the time. And then that'll be the end of the conversation. And then we go on to Taco Bell or something. Like, a relationship is very simple. A marriage is very simple. It's just motherfuckers have complicated it. over the past couple of years.
I don't think it's no complicated. Just sometimes two ignorant motherfuckers just don't belong together, and then they wait too late. Just they didn't wasted their time. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's also again, like I say, that may work. Like for my old lady, for the most part, then my old lady come at me, it was some shit. I did something. I'm just so dumb that I don't realize what the fuck I did, but I did something. You know what I'm saying? Because my old lady wasn't the one to come at me. But then when we talk about it, I already know she gonna be mad at me, so I'm gonna let her be. You know what I'm saying? But it was never no reoccurrence. It was never no reoccurrence by it. And I never felt like she never belittled me. It was always a sense of respect. Even when she was, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never felt like she was just trying, like she trying to boss me or something. Like, who the fuck, where I had to be like, who the fuck you talk to? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I do believe a lot of us waste time with people that we don't need to be with. Instead of just having the balls and be like, yo, this ain't working, yo. You know what I'm saying? And move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Takes up a lot of time. It
Hell
takes
yeah,
up a lot
bro.
of time.
Yeah, bro.
It takes up a lot of energy. It really does. It have you doing stupid shit, just out of character shit. Like
shit just not
fucking
working,
drinking
bro.
more or smoking more.
Dumb shit. You
Like
know
a
what I mean?
pack of cigarettes could last you 4 or 5 days. All of a sudden now it's only lasting you 2 days.
Shit, a half a day. Smoking like a motherfucker. As soon as you come in the house, I knew. Why you smoking? I knew you was gonna come in and say some shit. God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have been there, bro.
Yeah, or as soon as you walk through the door, they give you that look from the couch. Like I've been around you long enough to know that look. I know you about to be on some bullshit.
And they're gonna wait till the game come on.
Come sit next to you, put their little hand on their head like this,
right.
Lean on the couch. You know, I was thinking that was really fucked up what you had did. Then you'd be like, oh my God, this shit better have happened today or yesterday. Don't bring me no motherfucking shit that happened 3 or 4 days ago.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear this shit. DL.
I'm like, dog.
DL. Why? Why do y'all do that?
So it might have happened 3-4 days ago, but the thing is, it wasn't in our priority list of things that need to happen at that very moment. So we put it on the back burner.
You had to discuss it with the other two people in your head.
You remember that.
Yeah.
In a way, yes. We had to marinate on it too. So then we had to bring it back and let you know. All right, so I didn't like that. That was some fucked up ass shit.
Well, why not? Well, I guess
because it wasn't on the priority list at that moment. So we backburnered it. We bookmarked it.
Damn.
Like, okay, I'll bring up my ex. Her name was Shay. Shays ain't worth shit. None of them. Not a single one of them. It will be this thing where I'll be at work. I go in at 7 in the morning, get off at 6 because that's the time they closed. I'm in the steam. I'm in all this different type of shit all damn day. Hot as hell. Only thing I had today was a leg and a thigh from Church's for $2.99 because that's all the fuck I had on me. I walk in. I find it mighty funny that every time you get work, you eating, but you ain't got no money.
Why you counting my pockets, bro?
Why?
Like, that irks my soul.
Why you always telling me you ain't got this, but if I go through your pockets, I find it. You done been at home all goddamn day. The dishes need to be washed, but I cleaned everything else. You ain't clean shit then if the dishes ain't done.
Facts.
If the dishes ain't done, that kitchen is
Incomplete
still
ass
fucking
bullshit.
dirty.
Right. It's called clean the kitchen, nigga, not clean part of the kitchen. That togetherness bullshit. That togetherness bullshit is whack, bro. Can't you just help me? What you mean, dude? If I gotta get up, I'm gonna do it. Go sit down. That's how I am. No, it don't take two people to fix a hamburger. It don't take two people to wash no damn dishes. It don't take, man, that burns me, bro.
Or did you see? You didn't even bother to go look at the bathroom and see what I done did in there.
Oh my god! Like, bro, you touch the nerves with this shit. I ready to snap. No girl gone. Like, dog. Like, I didn't even know you did nothing to the bathroom. Damn.
I ain't even been in that motherfucker yet. I ain't had to piss in the last 2 hours.
Boy, this shit touch your nerves, boy. I'm talking about, I know exactly what you talking about. Like, damn, bro. How come you just can't be nice and say, babe, go look what I did to the bathroom? Why you just can't say it like that?
I guess you're not going to say nothing about these curtains. They just a slighter deeper blue than the last ones. What do you want me to say?
Bro, I just tell them that's for you. I don't care about what the fuck you get. That's why I get talking like that, bro. Don't give a fuck what drapes. You can get some hot pink fucking drapes in this motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Probably won't notice them neither.
DL, what's the purpose of this?
Look.
So I don't do that. So I don't know.
I know you know chicks who do that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I do. But I don't know.
Women need to learn to be more nice. Women ain't nice no more. They just not, bro.
Oh.
They're just not. It's like I don't know, bro. It's like, damn, bro. Like, do you gotta be so aggressive? Like, I tell all these women, you want the draws, but you ain't got the balls to fill them. Why? Stay in the silk panties, bro. You supposed to be soft. You know, I don't want a girl who tell me,
DL.
Yeah, I don't want a woman who tell me you can't handle me. I don't want to handle you. I handle mutts. You know what I'm saying? I handle dogs. I handle these niggas in the street. You know what I mean?
Handle you.
Right.
That's because toxicness has became a thing.
I don't like that. Yeah, they making that shit sound cool now.
It's
that shit ain't cool. I don't like arguing. I don't, cause he didn't say it. Hey, get out, bitch. You gotta go. I'm ending this. Go. You gotta go. Get the fuck up out of here. Huh? Get out.
See, my thing is, I like peace.
Yeah.
I love peace. I love my peace.
Men like to feel love just like women. Whether men say it or not, we like to feel love. We just don't say that shit. That's what all women supposed to be there for. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to feel, we supposed to feel like what Polo say. When you're around, we supposed to be able to feel at peace. You know what I'm saying? We are. I'm not supposed to feel like I'm still outside and gotta have my gun on my hip because I think you finna trip on me or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got my gun on me for protection in the house.
Right.
Like I might have to shoot this motherfucker.
If I'm downstairs watch TV and you come down the stairs, I shouldn't feel like when the police get behind me. Like this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker, I know she finna say something.
And then they call your name from the kitchen.
Yep.
Oh shit.
I was just gonna say kitchen, dog, because I was like, yep. She
and it don't be nothing. It'd be like, are you hungry?
Why you stumping? That's what I'm thinking. Why this motherfucker walk heavy footed like that? Yep, finna be some shit. Here it come.
Because you come out the kitchen. You want your presence to be known because you walking and slamming your goddamn heel.
Here go the warning. Here go the warning. You normally ask me, do I want something to drink when you go in that refrigerator? But then you done grabbed your ass something to drink and went right back upstairs and then say shit. I'm like, yep, as soon as she come back down.
It's gonna be some stupid shit.
It's gonna be some stupid shit.
Or when I finally decide to go upstairs, it's gonna be some bullshit.
Now my mood done changed, so I can't even finish my movie. I done cut the motherfucker. I'm just waiting on you to come back downstairs and get this shit over with. Smoked about 2 cigarettes. I don't have time for stuff like that.
Bruh, once it got towards the end, I was not doing none of that shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
But this motherfucker had me so fucked up in the head. I'm telling you, made me homeless and every fucking
Fuck
thing.
that, bro.
DL, what this motherfucker do? That bitch wasn't shit.
Me, you, and Maxwell.
I'm finding myself listening to the songs to try to like, man, get this bitch out of my. It was like a full-fledged exorcism.
Hell no,
bro. What Rob was saying, it had me down bad.
for real.
It had me down bad. Bruh. She done made me homeless. She done lost all my shit in the storage facility and all this different. I had to get away from actually killing her. I think
That'd be my next step, bitch. You finna die. You finna die, and you finna give my money before you die, though. You gonna give me, then you could die. Cause fuck that shit. Like, no, that's real shit though. That's arguing shit. No, that shit is not cute, bro. That's, you know what I mean. And then like say, to go back what Polo said, a lot of niggas don't know how to be niggas, and a lot of women don't know how to be women, bro. It's certain things that qualities of it used to be certain things that certain things that
I'm about to hop off. I gotta go
Okay.
to bed.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Didi.
okay. Night, D.
Have a good night.
All right, you
Do
too.
the same.
There used to be certain things, certain qualities that set women apart. You know what I'm saying? You had your ratchets, then you had your women.
Yeah.
And you had a choice. At least I knew what I was finna deal with.
Not everything looked the same.
Yeah. Now I can't tell the difference, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Everything, even like every chick is dressing the same damn near.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what their size is, they still dressing the same. Everybody's wearing the same shit. And you probably miss out on a good chick because she's just following keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
because every chick has this one quality that toxicity is right.
Yeah, no, that's not. And if he can't deal with my mouth, then he ain't shit. He a bitch ass nigga. Ugh. That's nasty, bro. I know a bunch of cute ass girls now that's just ugly as fuck because of their mouth. I tell you, that's the biggest turn off to me. I don't like that shit. Do you talk any kind of way? Can't do that to me. Then they tell me that's cause you just mean, Slick. No, I'm not. I just know how to open my fucking mouth. I don't know niggas y'all used to dealing with. You can't talk to me like that. That's a fact. I'm gonna say something.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't get no correction on it, you got to go. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying?
The same way that they're quick enough to correct us. Say, for instance, we end up calling them out, then they're calling them a bitch or saying hoe or something like that. We should be able to correct y'all when it comes to certain shit. You're not above reproach.
That's a fact, and it's not even a question of asking, bro. We're not supposed to ask. Asking pertains to meaning you're following. I'm not following. We were meant to do what? Lead. So I'm not going to ask you not to talk to me like that. I'm going to tell you.
Don't talk to me like that.
Don't talk to me like that. That's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A woman going to tell you what they don't like. I don't like that you called me a bitch. I don't like that. Okay. But I'm not going to tell you, babe, I don't like when you yell at me. Fuck, Nick.
You're going to either stop it or your ass leave it.
Facts. Tell you quick, the road don't move by itself. You better get to walking.
But that's been enough for one night. We about to hop off of here.
Right
Hopefully
on.
this shit was educational for y'all. And everything that we talked about, don't let it take away from the victims of that asshole.
Yeah, bro. That dude, just learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we saying. Just learn from it. It ain't right, but as the old saying is, it is what it is. This is dope. Shout out to Black Hoodie Energy. I guess we can call this a subsidiary of what? GMT? GMT fam. This is GMT fam, Black Hoodie Energy. All right. BHE, GMT. Y'all know what it do.
All right.
Deuces.